guys, welcome to another episode of Coffee Talk with Hosey. In this episode, I want to share with you guys this thing called the 5 levels of communication. Now, this 5 levels of communication concept has been around for a very long time, and to be honest, when I googled, I can't really find who the creator of this concept is, but it is easily, readily available on Google for you to find out more. So, without further ado, let me share with you guys what are the 5 different levels, and at the end of the day, what we want to achieve is deeper intimacy and a deeper connection with whoever you are trying to have a closer relationship with. We'll go from the most basic level, which is the least threatening one. First level, this level is what we call the pleasantries. This is the cliche kind of conversation like, hey, today weather very hot, or how are you doing, or have you eaten? Well, in the Malay language, you will be like, apa khabar? And then somebody would reply, khabar baik. It's very common. In a dialect, like for example, I'm Hokkien, right? People would be like, hey, jiapa boy, have you eaten? And you're like, jiapa liao. Like, it's something that you don't even think about and you just answer. It's like, how are you doing? Oh, I'm good. It's just very surface kind of conversation. It's something you say to somebody when you're just going past, walking past in a corridor kind of thing. I remember when I was in Australia for a holiday, and when I go to pay up something at the cashier, they're like, oh, how are you doing? And you're like, good. And I never understood that, because a big part of me wants to be like, challenge the whole, the social norm of like replying I'm fine. And imagine I was at the cashier, I'm like, oh no, I broke up with my boyfriend yesterday, I wonder what would they reply me. But anyway, that's beside the point. So level 1, that is small talk. Then we move on to level 2. These are the facts, for example, about people, about happenings, about time, about place. So it could be like, if you're a married couple, you could be like, oh, John is gonna finish school tomorrow at 2 p.m, we want to pick him up. It could be, let's meet tomorrow in a cafe in Tanjong Pagar for dinner. Or perhaps in your conversation, you could even tell your partner about something somebody else, like, hey, Jane fell sick yesterday and I heard that she had cancer. So this is very very factual, and it is very external. But this level is also important, because imagine if we don't have this report kind of conversation, then everything would be in a mess. We wouldn't know where to meet, we wouldn't know what time to meet, we wouldn't know what's happening around us. However, this is not the place where you want to stay in the level of your communication, and many times people remain on this level because this is where it is very safe, where you don't have to involve your own opinions and your own feelings, where you might be criticized and where there might be differences. This is just pure report, all hard facts. It is very neutral. But the thing is, if we stay in this level, we would never be able to build deep relationship. We will never be able to build close relationships. At this level, you will not be able to build intellectual intimacy, emotional intimacy, and spiritual intimacy. Which is why it is very important for us to move on to the 3rd level. And this is where things start to be a bit risky for some people. And this level is the level of thoughts, opinions, judgment. And this is where potential clashes can come in, because different people, again, have different opinions, have different judgment, have different thoughts. And this is where arguments can come in because of differences. It could be, for example, a couple has a son named Paul, right? And a wife can be telling the husband, Paul hasn't been doing well in school. That is a report, it is a fact. And then she goes on to share her thought. I think that we shouldn't get Paul a car for his 18th birthday until his grades improve. So this is where personal opinion comes in, and the husband may come in and say, no, I disagree with that. We promised him that we're going to get him a car on his 18th birthday. We should get him a car as promised. So there is potential for contention. This is where people begin to look for cues in one another, whether it is safe to express further on their thoughts, on their opinions and judgment. If, for example, I want to share my opinions, but my partner is doing this, is frowning the eyebrow, and just like giving that whole skeptical and judgmental look. Naturally, as a partner, I won't feel like, hey, I don't feel safe to share with you, and I would withdraw and I would go back to level 2 where things are just safe. I don't want to rock the boat, I don't want to have to quarrel with you, I don't want to have any disagreement. And then we move on to level 4, which is the emotions part, where we start sharing what we feel. Like, I feel sad, I feel hurt, I feel disappointed. In the example of the couple, the wife might feel like the husband is spoiling the son by getting him a car even though he's not doing well for his exam. And some people would feel like from level 3 to level 4, from sharing your thoughts and opinions to emotions, is a huge jump, because I don't know what is it about emotions. Sometimes like we are more sensitive when it comes to emotions, as if we are our emotions. It's like we will just hide away immediately. And this is also where it is so important to create a safe space. A lot of times when people share their emotions, what they want is just a validation. And validation basically means they want to know that they are being heard, not to be told whether this emotions is right or wrong, because a lot of times emotions are just there. There is no right emotion, there is no wrong emotion, but there can be a wrong or right action that comes as a result of the emotion. For example, anger in itself is not a bad emotion or a wrong emotion, but what you choose to do with that anger can be good or bad. So emotions itself, no bad, no right, no wrong, no good. But actions itself, yes, there's good and bad. Obviously, if you hit your partner because you're angry, then that is bad and that is wrong. And many times when people feel like, hey, there is no safe space for me to share these emotions, that is when they start to withdraw and they start to suppress their emotions, and they don't communicate in a deep level anymore. And they just stick to the safe conversation on the whether it's good, on I did this, on I did that. And the thing about guys is they are fixers, they are solution driven, and many times when a woman share their emotions or they share their problems, guys try to want to fix the problem, but a lot of times that is not what women want. They just want to be validated on their emotions, they just want to know that they are heard and they are understood. Full stop. And if men can understand that, they're gonna have a happier wife and they're gonna have a happier life. On the 5th level is the level of complete truthfulness. This is where you begin to open up about your deepest fear, your deepest concerns, your deepest insecurities. For example, I am afraid that you would leave me, or I feel lonely because I feel like you don't understand what I'm going through, and I feel like you have checked out emotionally on me. And to be able to reach level 5 is a place where you can completely trust each other's heart for each other, and you trust that this person has good intentions for you. It's a place where two people, even though they might have different opinions and thoughts, they try to understand each other's point of view, each try to stand in each other's shoes, even though they might not agree. So the question is, on which level have you been communicating in your relationship and in your marriage? Have you chosen to go to the safe side because it's been too painful to reveal yourself? I myself have been guilty of staying on level 2 to give my partner, or not just partner but even a friend or with whatever relationship that is, an impression that we are talking, but actually there is no real communication that's happening. Like two people are blabbering, but there is no intimacy that is created at the end of the day. So I could meet this person and I know that I'm harboring certain bitterness, I'm harboring certain issues, and I'm not revealing to this person because I feel like there is no safe space, but yet I don't want the person to know that I'm keeping something from him or her, and then I'll just go blabbering about, this day I did this, I did that, yesterday I did this, I did that, today I'm going to do that, I'm going to do that. It's like I fill up the space, but I'm keeping this person at arm's length. And I always tell people, I always tell people about this concept called the safe space. The moment I feel like there is no safe space for me to share my thoughts and my emotions without getting judgment, I would shut down mentally or emotionally. So what does safe space means to you? Have you ever explored this with your partner, and how can your partner create that safe space for you? Conversation of the day. Okay guys, I hope these 5 levels of communication would be useful for you, and until the next time, bye bye.